going on, guys, and welcome back to episode 2 of Summer Shredding. Lately, the cut has been going kind of interestingly. Basically, my body weight has been stuck at 200 pounds in the morning for a while. So I started decreasing my calories quite a bit, and we're finally starting to see that number go down a little bit. But right now, I'm actually headed to the gym to hit a back workout. But first, we've got to take some pre-workout because I haven't been eating that many calories, so I pretty much rely a lot on pump and stimulants in order to get me through the whole workout. This is today's choice of pre-workout, the Rise Blackout Baja Burst. Definitely one of my favorite flavors. I'll probably do a half scoop of this. A full scoop is like 400 milligrams of caffeine, which is a little bit too much for me. I probably won't be able to sleep if I take a full one. So I'm gonna do a half scoop of this. As always, be sure to use code BEATON at checkout if you want 15% off any of the Rise supplements. I recently heard that dry scooping your pre-workout isn't actually as good as drinking it with water because a lot of the pump ingredients rely on water in order to be activated in your system and actually work. So I've started drinking it with water lately. Oh, I cannot even explain to you how freaking sore my legs are. Oh man, pre-workout tastes really good on a cut. Like usually it's like meh, you don't really think twice about it. But when you're low on calories, that stuff starts to taste like soda pop. Like, it is good. I look forward to drinking it.
Done extending out my arm, made a lot of money from my palms. Been around it, now they say I'm on. I can finally say I'm up now. I'm up now. 20,000 on a bus down, a bus down. I'm on my way up, going up now, and I ain't never gonna touchdown, touchdown.
And now for the discussion of the topic that you've all been waiting for. Let's talk about spanking the monkey, the 5-finger shuffle, making the bald man cry, poaching your egg, eating your meat, blowing your horn, shucking corn, waxing your carrot, tugging the slug, squirt hockey, handshaky, burping the worm, jerking the shirkin, tossing your egg salad. But to keep this video easier to follow, we are going to refer to it the entire time as beating your meat. Let's keep it simple, people. Since I'm literally making a video about beating your meat, you have to make sure that you drop a like on this video, as well as drop a comment down below, either just for the algorithm or let me know what is your guys' experience with NOFAP. Why do you do it? Why don't you do it? So for those of you who don't know, NOFAP is basically the practice of not beating your meat. And so I decided to give it a go, and there are a couple different reasons why I did it. Now, the first reason is because of my personal religious beliefs. This is not the first time that I've practiced NOFAP, but to be honest with you, I wasn't really aware that there was a movement that claimed all of these different benefits that you can get from not beating your meat. I used to try to practice it, solely because of my religious beliefs. The second reason why I did it is because I wanted to see the effect it had on my overall energy levels, my muscle building, as well as my productivity. The third reason that I wanted to do it is simply because I wanted to practice self-control. And self-control is a really good thing to practice, especially when you're in a caloric deficit like I am trying to get shredded for the summer. Dieting basically comes down to a big game of self-control. And the fourth reason why I wanted to do it is because, as I mentioned earlier, there is a large Reddit group solely based around preaching abstinence from beating your meat and talking about all of the different positives that come from it. Now let's get into my personal experience with this. I tried to make sure that when I started that I was able to keep a little bit of a journal. Week number 1. This honestly was not too hard. The first week I didn't feel like I was missing out on too much, and honestly the drive that came from wanting to try to continue and persevere was ultimately able to overcome any sort of desire that I had to do it. Week number 2 is where things got a lot more difficult. I started asking the questions like, why am I doing this? And I wasn't as set on achieving hitting that goal anymore. So week number 2, I'm actually just gonna call Hell Week. And this is just my own personal experience. Other people might find it that week number 1 was really difficult and week number 2 was really easy. But after week number 2, things really started to get into a groove. During week 3, my strong urges had pretty much subsided, and I realized, okay, well, I'm not gonna be beating my meat anytime soon, so I might as well do other things with my life. And that continued on into week number 4, where I feel like I really hit a stride and I was pretty much not thinking about it at all. There would occasionally be the day where everything was just off, everything was really, really stressful, and there was obviously a lot more urge to do it. And when it comes to days like that, what I find is best is just to try to put it out of your mind, get yourself to do something else. I don't care if it's going for a walk, doing literally anything you can, trying to get out of the house really helps the whole situation. All right, and now let's get into a little bit of my experience and what I noticed from it. One thing that tends to happen after you beat your meat is you tend to get really lethargic. And when I get lethargic, there are 2 things that I want to do. I want to eat, or I want to sleep. Both things are not productive at all for me right now. I'm trying to diet down for a show currently, so eating is something that I just can't do. So completely stopping beating my meat and sort of erasing that lazy urge to just stuff my face with whatever food I want was definitely the right way to go. When I get lethargic, I also get sleepy, and that is definitely something that I do not want to happen. I really enjoy being productive throughout the day and getting as many things done as I possibly can. And so if I decide to do it, I would decide to do it before bed, but even then I noticed that the following day I would be a little groggy. I paid very close attention to the cues that my body was sort of giving me. As far as muscle building and working out goes, honestly, I didn't notice anything in terms of muscle building. I'm already very far along my weightlifting journey, and so muscle gains and progress doesn't just come like that. However, what I did notice when it came to working out, when you try NOFAP, as funny as it sounds, there's actually this sort of frustration and aggravation that sort of builds up inside of you, and I'm not even sure if I want to call it that because both those things sound kind of negative, but instead what it is it's sort of a drive, something that's sort of constantly pushing you to do other things in order to put your mind off of it. And there's something about getting rid of your sexual desire that for me tends to plateau that productivity and that drive to be doing more and to be going harder. How this translated to the gym was that I was actually more motivated to go to the gym and kill a workout, and my workouts honestly got a lot more intense. It sounds really funny, but this is kind of true. That sexual frustration that you sort of feel sometimes when you get amped up, it translates into a better workout almost. And I think that a lot of the guys that are watching this can probably relate to that. When you first started training, at least this was for me, I first started training because I was attracted to girls and I wanted them to be attracted to me. And so abstaining really helped me access that drive. So to summarize it all, from my whole NOFAP experience, what I honestly learned is that I feel like I'm more productive. I feel like my workouts are more intense. I'm more likely to stick to my diet. I'm more likely to stick to the things that I need to do. It's very similar to taking cold showers in the morning. And it's one of the reasons why I love taking cold showers. It's because a certain amount of stress in your life is actually very good. And it's the only way that you can grow and progress. And so taking a cold shower in the morning is something that you don't want to do. It's a stress, but as soon as you do it, it shows you that you have the power to do things that you don't want to do. And that makes you a lot more productive just throughout life. There's no more procrastinating because you're able to do the things that you don't want to do. And being able to have that self-control can help in so many other areas of your life. As far as testosterone goes, when you beat your meat, you actually have a small dip of testosterone right after, but very soon your levels will get back up to what they used to be. So I think that there are a lot of different statistics that are easily manipulated to make it seem that like NOFAP is really just this absolutely crazy thing that's gonna change your life and change everything about who you are. But I don't think that's the case. I think that it is the same as practicing anything else when it comes to self-control. If you are able to control your urges and have power over what you are doing, it's going to have a domino effect with the rest of live your life. And one of the final things that I noticed is that when it comes to talking with strangers, that's something that, you know, is pretty much intimidating to just about everybody. But for me, I actually had a lot more of an urge to go out and pursue social relationships. So my recommendation for you guys, I would say go for it. I would say give it a try and let me know what you guys think. I think we can all agree that any sort of addiction to masturbating can be extremely negative on your life and can hinder you from doing a lot of things. So if this is somewhere where you struggle to be moderate, then I would definitely recommend trying this out. So be sure to drop down below in the comments what you guys thought of this video. If you guys enjoyed it, be sure to drop a like as well. If you're wondering where I got this beautiful hoodie from, it was obviously Raw Gear. They've got a big drop coming on the 22nd of this month, so be sure to go shop Raw Gear and use code BEATON at checkout for 10% off. As always, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope that this was entertaining as well as educating for all of you, and I will see you guys all in the next one.